In this video, we will use the Spatial Join tool to add zoning information to our parcel layer. We want to find just the zones designated for family residents that are part of the neighborhood plan to develop the area. We can do this by using a spatial join. This tool allows us to join overlapping layers and create a new layer that contains the attribute from both. Let's turn on the City Undeveloped layer and open up the attribute table. Make note of the number of features and that this data doesn't have attributes regarding the zoning classifications. That's where the spatial join comes in. Go to the geoprocessing pane and search for spatial join. We only need to fill in the first 3 parameters for this tool. The target feature should be our City Undeveloped layer. Make the join feature our zoning layer, and essentially we want to create a new layer that is exactly like our City Undeveloped layer, but has the attributes from our zoning layer. Make sure that the output is in your geodatabase and name it something like Undeveloped Zoning Spatial Join with no spaces. This tool takes the overlapping parcels and overlapping zoning layers and will create a new output that has the combined attributes. Lastly, we need to specify how the data should be joined, since it's possible that some of the parcels will fall on multiple zoning layers. We want to use the join one-to-many option. This will create duplicate parcels with unique zoning attributes, whereas the join one-to-one may get rid of some of the zoning information and clump them together if there are multiple zoning classifications overlapping with our parcels. Go ahead and run the spatial join, and you should see a new layer appear. Open the attribute table and notice how many features there are. Also, take a look at the new attributes that have been added. Notice there are some that say zoning, which weren't there before. Take a look at the attribute called zoning_O_4. This has a series of codes that will be useful for our analysis and gives us an insight to the zoning classifications. At this point, these codes mean nothing to us, so let's take a look at the Austin, Texas metadata for the zoning layer. Here I found the zoning code titled SF-2, and this represents single-family standard lots. While you can see there are other single-family codes, and we could search for all that apply, we'll just use the SF-2 one, since it's most common and it will keep our analysis simple. Now let's use the Select by Attribute tool again to select only parcels where the attribute called zoning_O_4 equals SF-2. Once we have those selected, let's export the selection as a new layer. Go ahead and title the new layer Undeveloped SF-4, Single Family. Once we export this, go ahead and clear the selection and hide any unnecessary layers. You may want to stylize this layer so it's a little bit easier to see and that it stands out. You may also want to remove a few of the other layers since the content pane is getting a little messy. At this point, we really only need our developed SF layer. Also, make sure to save. In the next video, we'll use the definition query to filter our urban trails layer.